Assalamualaikum and good evening. We are Group 3 and today we are presenting about the evolution of ombudsman from classical origins to modern application in Malaysian financial service. So before we jump to our main topic, allows me to give you a little insight on Islamic judicial system. The Islamic judicial system is a comprehensive framework of legal principle and practice derived from the Islamic teaching. It aims to administer justice in accordance with Sharia, Islamic law, which is based on the Quran, the Hadith, and centuries of interpretation by Islam scholars. Prophet Muhammad, with the ultimate message, was instructed by Allah to resolve disputes, spread the word of God, and call people to Islam as mentioned in the Quran in various places. For example, so judge, O Muhammad, between them by what God has revealed, and do not follow their vain desire, but beware of them lest they turn you away from some of what God has sent down to you. Jurists agree that the duty of a judge are suitable obligation that must be fulfilled by some members, and if everyone neglect this duty, it leads to sin for everyone in society. The proof that these duties are obligatory come from the Quran. O believers, stand firm for justice as witness for Allah, even if it's against yourself, your parents, and your close relative. Be they rich or poor, Allah is best to ensure their interests. So do not let your desire cause you to divide from justice. If you distort the testimony or refuse to give it, then know that Allah is certainly all aware what you do. Surah An-Nisa, verse 135. An ombudsman is an official often appointed by the government or an organization tasked with investigating, addressing complaints made by individuals or groups regarding administration, unfair treatment, and violation of rights. Ombudsman can be found in various sectors including government ombudsman, financial ombudsman, educational ombudsman, and corporate ombudsman. The concept of an ombudsman in the Islamic perspective can be deeply rooted in the historical institution of the muhtasib. The muhtasib was an official responsible for maintaining public morality, market fairness, and adherence to Islamic principles, serving as a precursor to the modern ombudsman. One of the main functions of muhtasib is to regulate commercial activities within the state by protecting the interests of the consumers and the entrepreneurs alike and guard public interests with much emphasis on administrative justice. Amicable dispute resolution in Islamic law is as old as Islam itself. When one critically considers the Islamic legal history, particularly in relation to commercial transactions as well as political feuds. From the viewpoint of Islamic law, there are 6 elements represent the recognized process of dispute resolution that includes slum, tahim, med'ar, mustahib, wali al-mazadin, and fatwa. The origin of muhtasib is rooted in the primary source of Sharia. There are numerous legal texts in the Quran support the establishment of muhtasib institution. For example, Surah Al-Imran verse 104. This verse emphasizes the importance of forming a community of believers to promote good and prevent wrong, highlighting the collective duty of the Muslim community to maintain moral and ethical standard.
Next, I'm Ahmad Nazan Shahir will continue the presentation with the muhtasib fieldwork. The first fieldwork is to maintain the comfort and smoothness of public facilities. Muhtasib need to ensure that public facilities such as clean water supply, malls, public buildings, mosques, and so on are always in good condition and workable. Muhtasib also has the right to seek financial assistance from the Treasury Department for improving. The second one is to resolve the dispute between neighborhood on minor matters that do not involve legal interpretation. Otherwise, the case will be taken to the court and settled by Qadi. The task of Al-Muhtasib is to resolve minor disputes that are clearly happen, such as a problem of constructing a building or installing a roof of a house, the entering of neighborland, and light. When a complaint is made to the Muhtasib, he should order the building or the roof to be removed. In the event of conflict of law, Muhtasib must bring the case to the court. And lastly, the third one is to monitor the peace of public. The scope of this work include the case of providing attempts to delay repayment of debt by capable person, acceptance of will and practice of wadi'ah, marriage of widows, and also kindergarten teachers. Next, I will move to the muhtasib task. The first muhtasib task is to regulate economic activities. Muhtasib played a role in ensuring that those who's involved in the affair of the market were honest in all matters of dealing and businesses. The second task is to monitor worship acts and matters that are against the law of religion. Muhtasib played a role to ensuring that no beggars come to ask for alms in the mosque on Friday and Sunday. Muhtasib also must ensure that no animal roam around the entrance of mosque and church, as the impurities could pollute the cleanliness of the place and cause discomfort to the people who come to perform worship. The third task is to observe the health and supervising of medical industry. And last but not least is to oversee the urban administration and maintaining the peace of the city. Moving on to the next slide, Muhtasib roles in financial matters. The first role is Muhtasib must ensure that all financial transactions were fair and conducted in line with Islamic principle of honesty and justice. This involves oversight to prevent from any form of fraud, deception, or exploitation in trade and commerce. The second one is to eradicate dishonest practice of the traders. The third one is to protecting the interests of consumers and the entrepreneur alike. Their role was to enforce the prohibition of riba. This means ensuring that lending practice and financial contract adhere to Islamic law which favor equity and risk sharing over interest-based lending. The aim was to maintain a just economic system that avoid exploitation and promote fairness in financial dealings. The last one, overseer of zakat collection distribution. Muhtasib were responsible for overseeing the collection and proper distribution of zakat, a form of almsgiving and one of the 5 pillars of Islam. They ensured that zakat was collected accurately from those who obligated to pay and distribute to eligible recipients in accordance with Islamic guidelines, thereby promoting social welfare and economic with the community. And for my last part is muhtasib duties on financial matters. The first one is the muhtasib needs to command the fulfillment of trust in sale and goods. And the second one is to prohibit all evils and misdemeanor, particularly lying and dishonesty. His job is to make sure that there is no dishonesty with regard of weight and measures, manufactured good, credit transaction, and trade in general. The third one is to prevent the instance of fraud in all sorts of transactions by laying down specific and detailed rules for different traders. The fourth one is to keep an eye on all trade and to make sure that those who work in the trade are well qualified for the job and know the rules of the law and regulation in respect with businesses. And the last but not least is to take a notice of other market imperfections such as practice of intercepting of goods before they reach the market in order to protect interests of the consumer and public at large. That's all from me. Thank you.
Now let's continue to muhtasib duties during profit times regarding to financial matter. In financial matter, muhtasib often monitored financial transactions to ensure they were conducted fairly and in accordance with Islamic principles of justice and honesty. It is stood for preventing fraud, deception, and exploitation in financial dealings. Next is the qualification to be a muhtasib. First, the muhtasib must be a Islam. Second, mukallaf, which means that the person is already reached puberty or baligh. Third, capable of carrying out his duties. Fourth, must also be a free citizen. It is a must for an al-muhtasib to be a free citizen so that he can have the authority in carrying out his responsibility. And lastly, muhtasib must be judged and knowledgeable in giving punishment to those who committed the forbidden acts. Muhtasib during Prophet's time, Prophet Muhammad appointed Sayyidina Umar bin Al-Khattab as Muhtasib of Medina and Sa'ad bin Al-As bin Umayyah as Muhtasib of Mecca. Sayyidina Umar, the second Caliph of Islam, is known for appointing individuals to the role of Muhtasib in Medina during his caliphate. He instructed them to monitor markets, ensure free trade practices, and maintain public morality according to Islamic teaching. Next is the Hisbah institution. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, defined the main component of Hisbah is to encourage what is good and forbid what is bad. According to Al-Mawardi, Hisbah institution is enjoining what is right when it is found to be neglected and forbidding what is wrong when it is found to be practiced. Hisbah is actually a state institution to promote the proper conducts and to avoid all types of misdeeds or offenses. One of the role of Hisbah institution in ensuring ethical business practices for Muslim countries. Besides that, it also monitor all wrongdoings that happen in business center like marketplaces, and Hisbah institution is also to monitor all wrongdoings related to muamalat system in the society. The pillars of Hisbah, according to Imam Al-Ghazali. First, Muhtasib, or in modern times we call it as an ombudsman. Second, Al-Muhtasab Alai. If Al-Muhtasab Alai was the accused party or the one who abandoned the good act or wrongdoer, this person will be finalized based on the mistakes made with no exception or privilege, whether nearby or distant relatives, government officials, judges, and professionals. Thirdly, Al-Muhtasab Fi. Al-Muhtasab Fi was the authority of Al-Muhtasib, or something that is in the target area of Al-Hisbah. It involved two goals, namely to command good acts and to prevent evil acts. It also encompasses three important elements: the right of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, the right of human, and the right of both parties, the right of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala and the rights of human. And lastly, the ihtisab. Ihtisab was a form of action taken against those who involved in the Hisbah. Now, we move to evolution of Muhtasib. As Islamic governments spread, the role of Muhtasib expanded across diverse regions under Muslim rule, evolving beyond market supervision to include monitoring public behavior and enforcing hygiene standards. During the Abbasid era, Muhtasib were responsible for overseeing market, checking weight and measure, and ensuring adherence to Islamic ethics in public and private life. During the Ottoman Empire, the Muhtasib role became more centralized and formalized, with jurisdiction over designated district and responsibility encompassing civil and religious law enforcement.
My Isharas next is application ombudsman in Malaysia. In Malaysia, there is existing Ombudsman Financial Service (OFS), which was formerly known as the Financial Malaysian Bureau (FMB) and commenced its operation in 2005. OFS is a non-profit organisation and functions as an alternative dispute resolution channel to resolve disputes between members who are the financial service providers (FSP) and licensed or approved by Bank Negara Malaysia (BNB) and financial consumers. The focus is resolving in dispute, claims, monetary dispute between consumers, financial service providers arising from insurance takaful or conventional Islamic banking transactions. Our FS mandate is to resolve dispute between financial consumers and financial service providers in an independent, fair, and timely manner. They are unbiased and do not take sides when resolving dispute. They are also decisions based on relevant fact, evidence, and circumstances of each dispute. So, who can lodge a dispute? The eligible complainant consists of financial consumer who uses or has financial service or product provided by financial service provider FSP, such as the individual for personal, domestic, or household purposes, and small and medium enterprises (SME) with in connection with a small businesses. The following financial consumers are also our eligible complainants, such as insured persons under a group insurance, persons covered under a group of takaful, third party making a claim for property damage involving motor insurance, takaful, guarantor of a credit facility, nominee, beneficiary under a life policy, famil, takaful certificate, a personal accident takaful certificate, and also insured person and beneficiary under a group of insurance. Next is the jurisdiction. OFS accept dispute which are related to monetary losses that fall within the following limits. Firstly, the banking including Islamic banking and payment system products and services, insurance and takaful. Claim are 250,000 ringgit. Next is the motor third party property damage insurance takaful. The claim 10,000 ringgit. And lastly, an authorized transaction through the use of designed payment instruments or channels such as internet banking, mobile banking, or an automated teller machine, ATM, or an authorized use of check. So there must be a claim 25,000 ringgit. The dispute that fall outside the jurisdiction will not be heard by Ombudsman Financial Services.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Faisal Shammuddin. Now I will mention about the reason why ombudsman is needed in Malaysia. So the first reason is ombudsman will often seeks to help individuals improve their skills and their confidence in giving voice on their concern directly. So if you didn't know, ombudsman main purpose is to give to help two sides or two parties negotiate with each other on the matter of or the dispute that exists between both of parties. And the second reason is that it was to provide a fair and efficient avenues for financial consumer to resolve dispute against financial service provider. So the third reason is that it giving chances to the dispute parties to handle the issue without costing any money or involvement of cost. So for example, with the existence of ombudsman, now people don't have to go to the court just to resolve a dispute. All they have to do is that go to the ombudsman office, and then ombudsman office would help them to create a negotiation between two parties. So two parties can now look at each other and resolve the issue professionally. Now I will mention about the benefit of ombudsman. So there's many benefits of ombudsman. So first benefit is to facilitate a customer and public need. As we know, ombudsman office main existence is that to help the public to resolve especially their financial issues. Okay. The second reason is to create a mutual trust and secrecy between the dispute parties. The third benefit is that it will priority given in maintaining a good relationship between the parties to avoid a better chance of commercial benefit potential dealing between them in the future. Fourth reason is that it will enhance the access to justice, especially to those who may not have enough money to brought it to the court just to resolve the dispute. This is a very important thing, because ombudsman, instead of just bring it to the court, ombudsman will help you to set a place or set a time to negotiate with each other, to understanding with each other, and to resolve the issue professionally without having to go to the court, having to face all the lengthy process, the cost and all of that. The end will be the conclusion of the entire topic. So ombudsman is very important, especially in Malaysia, because in Malaysia the ombudsman most mainly focus on the financial matter. So ombudsman is very important in Malaysia, because it would, instead of people brought or solve the matter in the court, now all they have to do is that they just negotiate without having to go through lengthy process. And then not only that, the way of ombudsman solving the dispute is that through arbitration, which is more professional, just compared to bring it to the court. Because if it involves court, then there could cost involved, and there could be a lot of money have to be spent just to solve the dispute. So ombudsman is a better way to solve the issue between two parties, especially if it involves small and medium scale of business. That's all for me and our group. Thank you.